Infinite banking benefits and advantages and secrets of infinite banking. Some time back, I made a video of the pros and cons of infinite banking. At that time, I listed as a possible con, depending on your personal viewpoint, the premiums that are required for whole life insurance that provides the framework for the infinite banking concept, or IBC. My wife and I have been using the infinite banking strategies for over a decade now, and still, while the list of pros for infinite banking is every bit as strong and even longer than what I had discussed in that pros and cons video, I now personally feel that the required premiums is a pro and not a con. And it was the only con that I could think of. So now there aren't any cons at all. And that's because, and this is one of the secrets of infinite banking, those required premiums become simply a forced deposit into your high compounding tax-free interest cash growth warehouse or savings account. And that's a good thing, wouldn't you say? Maybe you've been a disciplined saver all your life. That's not the case for me. So being forced to save, especially in this particular vehicle with a really high compounding dividend interest, that alone is really a positive thing. Now, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, so let me take a breath and be a little more organized about presenting this important information. Aloha, I'm Stan Cox, principal broker and strategist with SC Finance Strategies and Insurance Consultants. I'm also the author of the books on the tax-free cash growth warehouse strategy, and I'm the managing director of the Hawaii Financial Freethinkers Academy, a nonprofit financial literacy education organization. And for the past several years, I've focused on and specialized in the infinite banking concept and developing the tax-free cash growth warehouse finance strategy. Now, if you find this to be helpful, please like this video and subscribe to this channel and share it with your family and friends. Also, post your questions and comments here. You know, I think it's weird that the fact that whole life insurance, and particularly participating whole life, pays some of the highest compounding interest of any savings vehicle, and it really isn't being made a big deal of by the people who provide these products. But lately, and maybe I should get this out in the open right now, I have learned that in spite of the regulations and consumer protection laws that are in place, there are insurance agencies and agents that are not entirely honest with their clients. To me, that is simply criminal. So I want to warn you of that reality and strongly urge you to do your due diligence and learn the questions you need to ask and the answers you need to get in order to discern whether or not the person you are asking to help you with getting a proper policy designed for infinite banking, one, knows what they're doing, and two, is really looking out for your best interests and not just trying to make a big commission. And I'll help you out with that. It's really quite simple. Ready? Here you go. The only type of life insurance that should be considered for infinite banking is a participating whole life with a mutual company. So that's the first question and answer. Now here's the next one. How much cash value will I have by the end of the first year in my policy? The answer will depend partly on your age and health and how much you can afford to deposit into the account. But a policy with the proper design for infinite banking should produce a cash value account equal to 50 to 85% of the total premium paid in the first year. And that should be shown to you in the tabular values of the policy illustration. And here's something else you should know and consider. There are a few independent rating companies that rate life insurance companies based on their financial strength, their record of paying claims, and overall customer service. You can find a company's ratings on the internet, and those ratings companies are Moody's, Fitch, AM Best, and Standard & Poor's. But to simplify the ratings all across those different rating agencies, the more recently created Comdex, that's COMDEX, takes the ratings from the other 4 ratings companies, averages them together, then assigns a number between 1, the worst, and 100, the best or highest rating. Personally, I would be very cautious about getting into a policy with an insurance agency or insurance company, I should say, with a Comdex rating of less than 90. The companies I use are rated at above 95. A couple more questions I recommend are relatively specific or are specifically regarding the insurance provider's policy on loan treatment. 1, what are the loan interest rates and the dividend interest rates? And 2, does the company practice direct or non-direct recognition? There's another video here on this channel that explains direct and non-direct recognition. What you want is non-direct recognition. And you want a lower interest charge for loans than the company pays as dividend interest to your cash value. So going back to where I almost started with this presentation, a properly designed whole life policy turns the actual life insurance into a basically free bonus in just a few years. Now, obviously, insurance isn't free. It has a price or cost. But as the cash value of the policy continues to grow with the high compounding dividend interest, in just a few years, all of the premium you pay into it goes into your cash value. And at that point, the actual life insurance becomes a free bonus with the tax-free cash growth warehouse infinite banking account. How cool is that? Another secret benefit is that all that growth in your cash value is tax-free. That is, per the IRS code 7701, the dividend interest paid to your account is not liable for taxation as long as it stays in your account. Well, you might think, so how's it any benefit if you can't take it out of your account to use it? And that's the secret part. The whole infinite banking thing is using your cash value without pulling it out of your account. You may have heard me say that infinite banking multiplies the power of your money. And here's how that works. I've said it a lot of times. And as long as your money stays in your tax-free cash growth warehouse, the cash value of your whole life insurance, it continues to grow with the high compounding dividend interest. Loans are not taxable as income. So instead of withdrawing cash from your account, you leverage it as a collateral for the policy loans you take. That creates a few benefits for you. Big advantages over any other kind of financing. First, your money continues earning that high compounding tax-free dividend interest even while you're using it as collateral for your loans. That is, as long as your policy is with a non-direct recognition company. Then, when your policy is with a top mutual company that pays more dividends interest to your cash value than what it charges in simple interest for policy loans, not only do those gains continue while you use the money to buy things, and the gains are at a higher rate than the interest charged on the loans. So you are essentially getting free loans and you're still making a profit on the loans. Not losing the opportunity cost of paying cash, and the loans aren't taxable. But wait, there's more. Okay, if you use any loans for any kind of business expenses, you may have a side business, side hustle, whatever you want to call it, you can deduct the little interest you are charged for the loan that you are charged for the loan from your income tax. How great is that? So, and even if you don't have a side hustle, but you do work from home and you need, I don't know, a headset or a new chair for your desk or a new desk or a new computer or whatever, any of those things, you use your policy loan for any of those things, you can deduct the interest on the loan from your income tax. But wait, there's even more. Ha! When you leverage your cash value for policy loans, you don't have to make your first loan payment until you decide to. And that holds true for all the rest of the loan payments you make. That is to say, you make payments when you want to, in the amount you want to. There is no repayment contract. So it's entirely up to you when and how much, I should say, that you pay on the loans. Yeah. Meanwhile, your cash value continues growing tax-free. So all these points are the infinite banking concept in a nutshell. The finance strategies you can use with this infinite banking concept are limited only by your imagination. You can self-finance anything you want, anytime you want, as long as you have cash value in your account to use as collateral for the loans. You can use your tax-free cash growth warehouse as your personal sweep account. I have a video on that one too, on that strategy also, so check it out here on this channel. The same way big banks do. Big banks use sweep accounts all the time to save money on fees and interest and make money and all kinds of stuff. So you can do it too. And you can pay your monthly expenses. You can finance real estate or other investments. You can even pay your taxes with this strategy, which is the only way, by the way, that you can actually earn interest on the money that you pay to the IRS for your income tax. I wrote a book that outlines how to use the infinite banking strategy or concept in 10 powerful applications that really demonstrate how these strategies truly multiply the power of your money. It's titled Tax-Free Cash Growth Warehouse, Nuts and Bolts. You can order it on Amazon.com. And of course, if you become a client of mine, I'll give you that book for the asking. I try not to go over 12 minutes on these videos, so I'm going to wrap this up here now. But I'm sure that if you just think about the things that I've highlighted here, you can come up with more benefits and advantages of infinite banking yourself. Now, if you found this to be helpful, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with your family and friends. Also, please post your questions and comments here. If you have questions, we have answers. For a more complete explanation of the tax-free cash growth warehouse strategy, you can watch our free 60-minute webinar. The link is in the description box below. The link to buy my books on Amazon.com is also below. If you'd like to book a free phone consultation with me, the link to my Calendly page is also below. And if you'd like to apply to become a client of ours, that link is also below. We're here to help. We look forward to helping you. Aloha and mahalo for watching.